everyone. In today's video, we are starting right now in Hope, British Columbia, Canada, where we woke up to weather being 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius. It was above freezing. It was really nice and pleasant this morning. I was able to walk around. It felt really warm after some of the negative 30s that we experienced over the past couple of days going through Saskatchewan, Alberta. It was nice. It was warm. Did an oil change on the truck last night before we start approaching some of the most dangerous roads in North America, like the Coquihalla, the Alaska Highway. We're going to be on the Klondike Highway. We're going to be on the Dempster Highway, going all the way up to the Arctic Ocean in the next couple of days. We're going to check out the Liard Hot Springs. It's going to be a cool trip. Right now you're watching a time-lapse of us leaving Hope, going up into the mountains as the roads quickly deteriorate. You're watching at 10 times, and then we're going to show you a bunch of truck crashes, severe traffic jams caused by people not chaining up that probably should be, but let's start this adventure. These tunnels were really cool. Just outside of Hope, along the Trans-Canada Highway. Today's adventure only kept us on the Coquihalla for only actually a couple miles. We didn't even experience snow on it. But they actually plow the roads absolutely amazingly up here. In my area, they just use regular snow plows. Up here, they have a grader blade underneath the dump truck where they're applying the full weight of the truck at such force it's sparking going down the road. That's how they're scraping every little trace of ice off the asphalt. They keep the roads actually in awesome condition in Western Canada. Awesome. There's really no ice to worry about. So I wonder when we will truly have to chain up. Probably on the Klondike Highway. I remember that one being quite scary. We've been seeing quite a few things like this today out here on the highway. Just pull over for a quick break, checking conditions. They're not iced up yet, but I feel like we're gonna have to be putting chains on soon. We haven't hit any severe grades yet. Take a look at this. That. There's no chains down there. There's no chains on the drive tires. Truck drivers are chaining up, but this doesn't feel slippery at all. I did a brake check and I couldn't get it to slide, and the mandatory lights aren't on yet. Gotta watch it. Wait for oncoming traffic to stop because that's their lane. Then we can go once the oncoming traffic's done. On the steep grade, these trucks might be slipping. They went beyond the actual chain-up area, probably with no issues, and then here on this sudden steep part, probably started having issues. As soon as I see the last car, and if another car pops up, we'll sneak between these trucks for a moment. As soon as I start slipping up, I'm going to put chains on too, but I'm not feeling anything yet. once I put them on, I hope we can keep them on for days. Okay, yeah, no slippage taking off. Does that guy have no chains? The one that's in the middle of the road there? Maybe. Yeah, we're not slipping at all. The studded tires are working great because this is just a very thin layer of slush. Just gotta watch out because we do not have the right of way right now. There is a climbing lane here, but you can't really see it at the moment. On the conditions and load. If they're fully loaded, it should be on the trailer, the drives, and the steers. But it all depends. There's all different types of chains. Regular chains, double chains, triple chains, cleated chains. Cleated triples like the heaviest, best you can get, but they're back braking to pick up. Most of these trucks have regular chains. That Jackass Mountain Summit. No slippage at all. Now we're going down. Just gonna keep it slow. This is actually great. You see what they put in the middle of the road right there? That is small pea-sized gravel. Great traction, actually. We're not gonna do any excessive speed. We're gonna stay below 30 miles an hour, 50 kilometers an hour. Keep it nice and slow. Don't feel any slippage. I guess you people didn't hear the warning. I had the right of way. It means you stop. You're in my lane. Slid a little bit there because I had to hit the brakes hard. Learn the right of way. It's just like those people in the city that come into your lane to go around a parked car. That's illegal. You have to wait your turn. There's a lot of these vehicles here you can tell have been sitting for a while. A lot of these vehicles are just sitting in the... I'm glad we're not on that side. Traffic is so horrible. And there's like a fuel tanker and other stuff that's just not going to risk it. It looks like they're just pulled over to wait it out. All backed up. It's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas, so lots of traffic. People still commuting. Thankfully, we won't be coming back down in these areas until after New Year's. We're going to go up north where there's like nobody around. And the road conditions are fine. There's a plow up there and it's dropping pea-sized gravel and sand. This feels actually really great, unless I have to slam the brakes on for that moron back there. It's fine, there's no slippage. Just got to drive easy. Some people just never learn their right of ways. Did you know how high the statistic is of people with driver's licenses who can't get questions right? Like, who goes first? Like, have you ever seen those questions where you have people with yield signs, some people with stop signs? They quite literally don't know. They do not know which one has the right of way. That's why there's always stupid people on the road. That's why I won't drive anymore without a dash camera, especially after this last year. My parked vehicle got hit, and the guy gets out and tries to say I hit him. You need a dash camera these days. I don't know how that would have ended if I didn't have a dash camera for that incident. But my insurance didn't go up at all. It wasn't found at fault. The roads are slow moving, but at least they're flowing, and I'm having zero slippage on any of these roads. We're just taking it really easy. This is just slush. If we get to roads that are snow-packed, solid ice, then that's when we're going to chain up. But right now, we're fine. The traffic jam behind me is as far as the eye can see. It's Christmas traffic. But everything's okay. It's just going to get more and more remote as we go throughout the rest of the day. Right now, we're going down a really steep grade, but it's not slippery. Nothing wrong yet. We're crawling right now at a snail's pace on these roads. I'm not slipping at all. But you see this truck to the left? He's stuck. Looks like he only has chains on one of the drives. He's got extras hanging under there. Bigger trucks slip a lot easier. They probably don't have studded tires. They're not four-wheel drive in most cases. A lot of the big trucks also don't have locking diffs. Some do, especially the heavier duty ones. But wow, what a mess going in the other direction. Hope our direction doesn't start jamming up like that. Most people are going to be out here all night. They're not getting home for the holidays. I'm assuming a lot of those cars are heading down to Vancouver in the direction they're going. But we're heading off in the middle of nowhere, so I'm hoping we don't jam like that. But if we do, I guess we're just going to pull over and go in the camper and wait it out. Absolute mess. Now this driver here has put a lot of chains on. At least they're all using chains. I don't see anyone risking it, actually. See this stuff at home, so anyone who says that this might be boring to them, I've never seen this, and I'm sure a lot of people have never been in conditions like this. Traffic jams in the mountains. But at least we got a full tank of gas, and if we run out of fuel cans for the generator in some case, I guess we're gonna have to siphon some. You can tell some of these vehicles haven't been moving in a while. The snow's starting to build up. But I did notice the drivers here on these treacherous roads, they're a lot better than like Ontario. There's crashes everywhere on flat roads. But these severe roads, not too much going on. experience of driving on these roads. It's fascinating. Just really, really hoping we don't end up in the situation of those other vehicles. This is Christmas traffic. That's what all this is. Okay, I'm not going to keep showing this traffic jam, but if we see anything exciting, I'll show it. This traffic jam is still going on as far as the eye can see. Look at that old Bronco. That's cool. That truck there, see how he has that cardboard box? We might end up doing that if our engine ever can't keep heat up as it gets colder and colder. So far, no issue. But that's so the engine can keep its heat in severely cold temperatures, especially if you have a mechanical cooling fan like I do that you can't shut off. I guess we're going to time lapse the rest of this jam, see how far it goes. Hopefully everyone has their tanks topped off. Could be a while. It's supposed to snow the next 3 days on these hills. Well, I guess we don't have to time lapse. That is actually the end of it. I like the section of road. There's not many trees. They're just dotting the surrounding hills. Lots of grassy areas. It's the type of area you can see bighorn sheep. It'd be cool to see. Roads are still in good shape. We're just going to keep it slow for safety. We don't mind spending twice the time driving up here. Better for fuel economy. We don't want to crash. So good. No more traffic jams. I don't mind being stuck behind this slower truck. Every now and then when it's straight, I'll do slight brake checks. And if it ever gets to the point where it's really slippery, I'm going to find a spot and I'll chain up. But for the time being, we don't need to do that. For anyone who knows, chains are not a smooth ride. It's going to be bump, 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 bump. Unless the snow gets a little deep to cushion you. But chains on ice is not that great. Gotta watch it right here. Let's do a slight brake check. Slowing down, no problem. Trailer's not even trying to push me. There's a whole bunch of cars going around, but I'm staying behind this truck driver. Getting somewhere a little quicker is not worth me jackknifing and destroying my vehicle and trailer. Not worth it. Like these other people, they don't have a trailer. So it's not as big of a risk, but I'm not going to do it. Now that, whatever that Ford car, whatever the heck you call that thing, is a stupid person going around passing around this blind corner. Who knows who could have been around there? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna play it safe. I've only been in one accident before that was my fault, and it was me versus a tree when I first started driving, and I didn't have the right type of tires nor experience. Never taking a risk like that again. Look at that, everyone. We got some horses out there, and look at all the irrigation equipment. We were here back in the summertime. This is an area they refer to as the desert of British Columbia. Very dry. The mountains block most of the rain. That's why they have all this irrigation equipment. And it's interesting because just a couple hours back on the road is considered rainforest that we were in. interesting. And yes, there's warning signs everywhere saying sheep on the roads. I don't think I've ever seen a sheep travel in Canada. I did years ago in Colorado. I got videos of that. All right, everyone, we're starting to get on to some of the scary roads of BC. Snow and ice-covered roads with no guardrail and massive drops. If we were to go off the road here, we'd probably roll hundreds of times down to the river. Gotta keep it nice and slow. Look at that drop down there. No guardrail. It's so pretty here. Beautiful that is down there. There's railroad tracks. You got the river down there. No guardrail, not at all. Nothing stopping you from going off. Look at that, that's cool. There's no snowplow on the front of it. It's just a grater blade underneath the truck to scrape off all the hardened gunk. It's pretty cool. Puts the weight of the truck down on the road. This is a steep one. But I'm not feeling any slippage. They're doing good by spreading all that aggregate on the road. I find it really cool that down in the valley there's a railroad track on each side of the river. I believe that is in case of a landslide or an avalanche, which is extremely common around here. It'll only block one track so they can still get trains through. But in normal circumstances, one is going in each direction. It's pretty cool. I'm sure we'll get a clear day eventually. These mountains are big. Picking up a little bit of speed on the flat areas. We got another scary, gigantic hill. Tell where the rumble strips are. I'm just following everyone else's tracks. No one can tell where the lines are. I believe this is at least 3 lanes. Look at all these nets coming down to stop boulders from falling in the road. Alright, brief brake check. Nothing. We're getting great grip, but we're going to take it slow going down the next big hill. They actually do have a little bit of a rail here so you don't fall off the cliff. Maybe that's so a boulder has less of a chance of pushing you off the cliff. I don't know. Last time we were on this road, we found rocks in the middle of the road. Okay, I don't know why this truck driver came to a complete stop, but everyone's gonna go around him. I think he's gonna chain up, but why did you stop here? Oh, he started moving again. And there's oncoming traffic, so we gotta stay over here for a moment. Always respect the right of way. This guy's going far for Christmas. There's a Manitoba plate up in front of us. Yeah, this hill is one of the first steep ones going up, and a lot of the trucks that don't have chains are slipping, and they're all having a stop. It's actually quite warm out. It's 30. It's only -1 Celsius. Yep. See, this guy's putting chains on because he's slipping. Looks like he got a heavy load. Double dump truck, probably loaded to be slipping. There is a passing lane, but it looks like there's 6 inches of snow over there. So we're just gonna wait it out for a little bit. Okay, no one's coming up there. Keep on going around, car. There's no one there. Okay, I'm going around you. Good because they put gravel right here, little gravel, getting good traction. Get back on over here. This is actually 3 lanes. There's a climbing lane, but we're just going to stay where it's slightly clear. Yeah, I'm not slipping at all. This is great. We're doing a lot better than I thought. I was really intimidated on coming to these roads. I don't have any problems. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can feel it. There's a lot of gravel underneath the snow, providing amazing grip. Yeah, they put a lot of gravel, like actual gravel on these roads. That's really nice, actually. Until the snow melts and it goes through people's windshields getting flung up. We got 2 broken windshields actually in the summertime traveling these roads. It is really starting to look desert-ish now. Very, very few trees. The landscape here is looking more like Nevada now. At least whatever's growing next to us. Everyone, we got a little baby cow with its parents over there in that field. Check out all those cows. There's hundreds of them over there. Finally shutting the 4-wheel drive off so we can drive faster. These roads are in good condition now. It's just fluffy snow that blows away as you drive through it. Doing good now. Wow, look at that house up there. That's an awesome view. I love how that's perched up there. The road we're driving on right now, it says if it's raining or everything's defrosting, do not stop. Mudslides. This is pretty. I like this landscape. We're in prime grizzly territory now, but they're all sleeping. Just left the town of Clinton, BC. Roads are still good. Almost all of the traffic has dissipated this far up. Not too bad now. Just gotta keep it slow around corners. We can go a decent speed on the straightaways. I'm not slipping at all. So everyone, the route we took today, we were only on the Coquihalla Highway for a short period, then we were back on the Trans-Canada. That's where all those tunnels were. Now this is the Caribou Highway, which is eventually going to bring us to the Klondike Highway, and then the Alaska Highway, and then the Dempster Highway. We should eventually take all those. We're going to try to go up to the Arctic before Alaska, try to get all the way to the Arctic Ocean. That'd be cool. In the summertime, we were only a couple 100 miles short. It just, frost heaving was so bad. I think this time of year it'll be more smooth out. It's permafrost melting. It destroys the road. It's bad. Okay, I got a couple of cars behind me, so I'm going to give them a chance to go around me. I'm going to slow down and move into the slow lane. Then you don't have to have somebody going around you in the snow-covered lane and risk them swerving. Okay, get back over there. It's only a couple cars, but I don't let cars build up for too long. It's not the nice thing to do. I'm going slower because of the trailer and I know it. What I'm running right now is actually the best snow tires I've ever had. We're getting great traction on these roads. We're able to keep a decent speed. They're called Grabber General tires with studs. It's getting snowier. And look, we have forest again. We're out of that area they call the desert. Okay, we're gonna go around this guy slowly. What I find cool about the plows up here, they have the plow on the side, but there's also, if you look at this, there's a grater blade underneath it scraping. There's no plow on the front of these trucks. It's interesting to me. Actually, that one looked more like an auger down on the road. Pretty cool. I don't have that stuff in my area. We got a decent hill coming up, but I don't think we're gonna have a problem. The snow is up here. There's not much of it, but it sure is fluffy when someone passes you. Alright, for the past hour we were making good progress. We were able to keep highway speeds because the fluffy snow was just blowing off. But now, you see the snow blowing even when there's no vehicle there. It's whiteout conditions, and in person with my eyes, I can't define what is and isn't a snowdrift, and I hit two of them, so now we got to go a little bit slower. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a car up here in front of me. Low visibility, and there's drifts forming in the road, so we're gonna keep it a little bit slower now. All right, everyone, it's starting to get dark now. We just went through Williams Lake. It's noticeably getting dark earlier. By the time, like in 2 days, we're gonna be in an area that has 3 hours of daylight. That's gonna be cool, really cool. And hopefully the sky will be clear a few nights to see the aurora when we get up there, because it says online we have to go to Yukon to see the aurora nonstop all day long in the total darkness. That'll be actually really cool to experience. That's what we're coming up here to photograph. So Williams Lake is pretty cool. They have massive buildings made completely out of logs. Even the facade of Walmart is a log cabin. That's pretty cool. It's the most log cabins I've ever seen in one spot. A bunch of buildings. They even have motels made out of logs. They're real log cabins. They're not just fake facades on those buildings. Pretty cool place. Log barns. Drive in darkness for a while until we get tired. We're going to adjust our days, because when we get to Whitehorse, Yukon, sun doesn't come up until 11 in the morning. Then it sets at like 3 in the afternoon. So most of our driving is going to be in the dark. Go all the way up to the Arctic where there's 0 daylight until the middle of January. We've been driving in the snow now so much that the grill is completely blocked with snow. So it's doing the same thing as those grill covers to keep heat in. But the roads are still clear. Where we're driving, it's just blowing away. We're actually keeping a pretty good speed. They're maintaining these roads very, very well, actually. Supposedly, these roads get their worst in the spring because the snow slightly melts and refreezes into a sheet of ice. That's when they say it's the worst. I like it up here. This is nice. We're getting out where the traffic is starting to dry up. But still a good amount of traffic of the holiday commute. Gotta go a little bit slower because of visibility. Not exactly the road. I'll have to clean the headlights soon too because the snow is piling up on the headlights. What about the off-road light? Yeah, I gotta clean that. That off-road light is not doing anything. We sometimes have to spray antifreeze on it to loosen it up and get it off. Alright, the roads are deteriorating to the point we gotta go pretty slow because some areas are just white out where we don't want to accidentally go off the road. See the glimmering of the snow. You usually don't see that unless it's super duper cold. It's 14 degrees now. Ooh, a rest area coming up. I'm gonna pull in there. I gotta clean my lights. Alright, let's pull over at this rest area to try to clear my off-road light. It's got like an inch of ice on it building up from the road today. You just can't scrape that off. It's so thick. Ice scraper won't work. I used antifreeze, which will get into it in probably in like a half an hour. Then it'll scrape off really easily. There's a lot of ice on the front of the bumper, and the push bars are covered in very thick ice. And unfortunately, because I have antifreeze in a spray bottle, the spray bottle opened and it spilled inside of my sled. I brought my sled with a bunch of supplies. It thankfully wasn't a lot. It's only like a cup's worth. But antifreeze is oily and it smells like sugar. We'll deal with it when we get home. I'm not going to deal with it now. Ecolab's fault. They make a spray bottle that has literally one thread. It's like the cheap water bottle caps. You can't tighten it, it just clicks. You try to tighten it, it gets loosed. It's a piece of garbage. I'm not sure where that came from. What store sold it to me, I mean. It's a piece of junk. It's snowing even harder now. It's like a little blizzard. No wonder there's so much ice buildup on the front. Everyone, I just pulled in to a parking lot here, and it's been 10 minutes since the antifreeze had been on the off-road light. Came off perfectly. RV antifreeze is a great de-icer. It just compromises the ice. And this parking lot right here is good for drifting. I went out there and almost fell. It's a sheer ice with a dusting on it. Right, we're just gonna use that off-road light when there's no one around, when we're the lead vehicle. We're slipping here. Alright. very, very fluffy. So the traction is still very, very good. We finally got a passing lane here, so we can try to get up front out of all this dust. It stopped snowing, so that's nice. Great visibility. I'm wide awake now. We just got some food to eat. All right, time to get back on the highway for a couple more hours. And since we're going up to an area with such a little daylight, it doesn't even really matter when we sleep. We're just gonna stop when we're tired. So cold that these packed snow roads are very squeaky. I like that. That is cool. Look at the high beams of these cars. Is that even high beam? You can see that like minutes in advance before you even see them come around the corner. You just see that in the sky. That's really cool. And then there's something flashing up there. I don't know what that is. UFO. Alright, this looks pretty cool. You can see cars around the corner. Look at that. Is that what I'm seeing? Is that cars? I think that's gonna be cars around the corner. It just illuminates so far up in the sky. It doesn't happen in my area. There's something different around here. It's just a beam coming up. I think that might be a house, but the cars are doing the same sort of thing. House light. It's cool how it's projecting up in the sky like that. Yeah, just a house light. I think the one in front of us, that's gonna be a car light. It's so cool that you can see these beams like that on the horizon. It's getting pretty cold. 10 Fahrenheit. That's the best example of it so far. Oh, that's why. Semi-truck with massive off-road lights. Fast plow. Look at all that fluffy snow. This far north, it seems like the snow, it takes forever to settle to the ground. There's like particles all over the air. It's really pretty in person. Sparkling, everything. So cool, actually. I'm not sure if you can see that. We don't have plows like this in my area. You see all those sparks flying like crazy right there? There's an auger against the road, scraping right down to the asphalt, getting every little bit of ice. That is so cool. Look at that. We don't have stuff like that in my area. It's scraping down. every little bit of ice off of the highway. Wow, that's cool. That is so cool. They're like forcing down with so much weight to clean up this super packed road from all the heavy semi-trucks that travel this highway. All right, everyone. Tonight it is about 8 degrees right now Fahrenheit, and we can't get in the camper while we're pumping gas right now. We got a chisel. We were gonna use a paint scraper, but that's not gonna cut it. This is actually pretty satisfying. Oh, wow, that actually came off nice. Trying to get in the camper. Look at that. Look at all this buildup. Look at that. Ouch. This is probably not gonna thaw again while we're up here. It's just gonna get colder as we go. This actually works great. Yeah, we actually had no chance with a paint scraper. Yeah, there we go. Nice.
You might want to do that too.
I'm not going to go overboard. I don't want to break the wheel well, but we do what we can. All right, everyone. It's now late at night. It's 11 p.m. The temperature is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no more traffic on the road like earlier. It was very, very busy. Now there's not a single tire track. We're the only one on the road. We're going to try to go a couple more hours before we stop at a rest area for the night. I keep seeing lots of animal tracks. Some of them I can make out as moose, and then there's groups of them, which I'm thinking are either deer or coyote. I can't tell the smaller tracks as they easily cover up with snow. It's supposed to stop snowing at 3 a.m. and tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, so maybe we'll get some good footage of all the snow-covered trees. Been many hours since we've seen a snowplow. All right, everyone, we're gonna stop here for the night at this rest area. These allow you to stay here at night with campers. It's nicely plowed. Hopefully they don't plow snow up against us. I don't think they would do that. Look how big the snowbanks are here. This is gonna look beautiful in the morning. So it's midnight and we're gonna stop. So should we park next to the woods or more towards the trash cans? Towards the woods. So I'm gonna flip it around. The trees are so skinny up here. This is gonna look really nice in the morning, especially if it's actually sunny out. Okay. Stop here for the night. Alright everyone, so we usually move certain things like toothpaste to the truck and back in here, but we forgot it in the camper today. It's flexible, but look how thick the toothpaste is. I'm squeezing, but oh, I might. Look at that. Good morning everyone. Merry Christmas. We're waking up today. It's Christmas in northern British Columbia. I just pulled my earplugs out because as that thing cycles on and off, it kind of keeps me up. Because every time the heater shuts off, because we have it at 80 degrees right now, every time this shuts off, the generator outside revs down. It keeps throttling. So let's see how much ice we got in here. Look at this. The mattress freezes to the walls. But it's not a big problem, actually. We thought the ice was gonna wet our mattress, and when we were down in Hope yesterday morning, it was way above freezing, and the walls were dripping and making this wet, but it actually dried up. It was all the way out here, the wetness, and it all completely dried up, no problem. So I'm gonna put my boots on, go outside, and we're gonna see how beautiful it is. It snowed yesterday. We drove through the snow for like at least 12 hours straight. Let's see how beautiful it looks outside. I'm gonna go start the truck, let the truck heat up for like 10 minutes. Last night was supposed to get down to about -5 Fahrenheit, or about -22 Celsius. Not that cold. I didn't even bother plugging in the truck's engine heater. I was so tired after about 14 hours of driving. It won't be a big deal. It's not that cold. The engine block heater's for like when we get up to the -70s, where you literally have a risk of not starting. Okay. Putting my boots down. We're gonna go start the truck, get back in the camper for a little bit while the truck heats up and defrosts. Last night you saw we had the chisel to get our door open. Oop, the heater turned back on, so we revved back up. Let's see. It's beautiful here. We have about another 150 kilometers until we get to, well, I don't know if it's the beginning, but we're gonna hook onto the Alaska Highway. Trees look beautiful. Can't wait till we get up north to the boreal forest. The snow's getting deeper and deeper. We'll be in Yukon in about another 15 hours of driving. In about 11 hours of driving, if the conditions are good, which they're probably not going to be, we have to go. I love how the plows up here have that grater blade underneath. The whole weight of the truck is pushing down, and it scrapes it right down to bare asphalt. You know, the reviews were all saying that all the roads in northern BC and Yukon and Alaska are going to be permanently snow covered, but they're absolutely not slippery. We went down some huge hills last night that I was concerned about. Literally, none of them were slippery. None. Good snow tires are working. We don't even need chains. The chains will save for areas where we actually get to ice, because this isn't icy. Not icy. Eventually we'll get up to the Klondike Highway, then the Dempster Highway, which we couldn't do in the summer because the permafrost heaving was so bad and rutted up all over the road. And in the summertime there would have been a small ferry to go across a river. It's now going to be completely frozen. The ice crossing opened a couple weeks ago for semi-trucks, so I'm sure we can drive across it without a worry of falling through, if they're able to do it. But Listen to that crunch. I can't wait to hear the crunch in -70. Personally, I've never experienced anything below -38. I hope that we actually do experience that up north. And we're gonna try hooking up the diesel heater tonight instead of running the electric heat, just to see how that does for a change. Because the diesel heat, we won't have to get up in the middle of the night to fuel the generator. So these tires here, these are mud claw tires. They're all season mud tires. They stay flexible even in these cold temperatures, nice and rugged. People used to tell me that mud tires would fill with snow. They don't. They actually work really, really good in the snow. See, the generator's plugged in right here. If you saw my first episode of this trip we were doing, we had to put temporary tail lights on because the factory ones failed. And then the temporary ones from the Home Depot failed. But I got these really nice ones from a truck stop. They're actually super bright. That's probably going to be permanent for me. Okay, let's see how the truck starts. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Didn't even struggle. So yeah, it's not even necessary plugging the engine heaters in for -5. Not at all. But we're gonna let the truck defrost for a little bit. I'm gonna go back in the camper. Hey, perfect timing. I'm out here, and this thing just ran out of fuel. Quite literally, just ran out of fuel. Wait, why did this shut off? It's got fuel. Why did you shut off? You got fuel in you. Oh, the truck's exhaust got into this. It's got a CO2 emergency shutoff, so a stupid person doesn't start it in their garage. All right, we got a lot of cord. I'm gonna move it away from the truck's muffler, and I'll be able to start that back up so we can keep running the space heater for a little bit. All right, I pulled it over next to the truck. I still hear this thing clicking. Maybe it still is detecting. Let's see if it'll start. Come on. See, the CO alarm is still triggering reset. Okay. Come on. Okay, maybe it doesn't need the choke. Why are you not starting? I think it's still detecting. Okay. I think it needs to still air out. Or I can smell the truck's exhaust, and I think it still can. I think that's the problem. Let me walk it way, way away then. Maybe over here you'll start. I don't think you need choke. Come on. I wish there was a way to disable this stupid stuff. Hit reset again. Come on, it's cold out here. There we go. Alright everyone, we just ran the defroster for a while. Time to pull back out onto the road. Engine's been on for 21 minutes. We are nice and fully heated. Everything's nice when there's no wind. Cold doesn't bother me at all being out here. Okay, no one around. It's Christmas Day, so I don't expect much traffic. Everyone got to their destination, so it shouldn't be like yesterday. Brake check. There's not really much slippage at all. But we do brake checks occasionally, especially before going down a big hill, in case we need to chain up. Everything looks beautiful today. Well, we just saw something we've never seen in real life. We had a water bottle in here, and it was liquid. And in order for liquid to turn to ice, it needs to expand a little bit. So the water was below freezing as soon as we opened it. Before our very eyes, it froze. That was so cool. This looks really, really nice out. Check this out. The visibility is increasing. We're starting to see some really beautiful mountains. Today's supposed to get sunny eventually, so we'll probably see even better. And look at the roads down to blacktop. Those type of snow plows are absolutely amazing. All right, we're getting out right now on John Hart Highway. Yeah, not slippery at all. And they put this nice grit, it's like pea-sized granules. But we got out right now because there's moose. There's some moose over here. Take a look at what we got. Baby moose and big moose. Baby's running. What about mama moose? Did you fall through the river or are you laying down? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do we have to call help for you? Nope. Mama moose stood up. Yeah. She may have fell. I doubt the ice is thin up here at all. She may have slipped. Pretty cool. I love the sound of snow when you're up north. It sounds crunchy. It's got to be extremely cold for you to hear that. Alright, good to know the moose wasn't stuck. I actually thought the moose slipped. Okay, we got a nice straightaway. No one's around, so we're going to turn around again. I had to turn around for that double take. And we got a trailer, so I can back up a little bit watching my trailer. It's as much as I can go without jackknifing. Forward a little bit. This snow is so fluffy, and we're in four-wheel drive. We're not going to get stuck. There we go. Keep looking. You might see them again through the bushes. Oh my gosh, look at that, everyone. Underneath the Alaska pipeline, I believe that is. Look at the moose. The water is actually not frozen. There's a baby and a mama. Can you get a couple stills? And zoom in on the moose plowing through the 4 feet of snow. Wow. That is so cool. Look at mama moose chugging along. They're down there getting a nice drink of that water that's not frozen. It's hard to come by out here. That is nice. We've now seen 4 moose this morning. That snow is so deep. I think as we continue north at night, when there's no traffic, I think we're going to start seeing these guys in the road because it's easier to walk. Lots of animals will travel in the roads in these deep snow areas. Oh, they see us. They're looking up here. That's so nice. Zoom out a little bit. It's nice to see. You want to keep watching? All right. Zoom in even more up to 20 times, I think. Yeah, look at that. It looks like they're following the same track they came in through. I see a trail. Is that another one?
It's the mama.
Oh, Yep, the forecast was right. The sun came out, and look at that beautiful drifting snow. It's starting to get windy. I hope we make it to some mountain ranges while the sun is still up. Days are short. Sun will be back down in a matter of 3 hours. Sun sets up here around 3:30 in the afternoon. We're only losing daylight as we go north. We can experience total darkness until the middle of January, so we got 2 weeks to get up north before total darkness ends. We got 2 weeks, but I think we'll make it up there in a matter of 4 or 5 days. All right, the snow is deep. We're at Peace Foothills. This is actually pretty solid, the snowpack, I guess from the blowing around. Oh, now it's fluffy. Got the trash cans right there buried. Look at the train down there. That looks so cool. Hopefully we get to see the train up close a little bit later on. But now we're gonna head back out onto the main road. That's pretty cool. Only the evergreens dotting the hills have snow on them. Look at that. All right, everyone, we're getting back up into the mountains. The roads are deteriorating. We're just keeping it slow and four-wheel drive. Not slippery. What's the town we just went through? How do you pronounce that?
Chipman.
We just went through Chipman. Snow's looking beautiful up here. I think I'm gonna time lapse a little bit of this road. What do you guys think made all these tracks up here? Something grazing the hill? I think it's something that's been grazing. Lots and lots of animal tracks right here on that hill. Roads are in good shape. Able to keep pretty good speed. Speed limit here is 100 kilometers or 65 miles an hour. We're able to keep 80 or 50 miles an hour without any problem. Had to slow it down around the corners. Look at this dog. You got a dog right there. Must have came out of that house, right? Yeah, that's where the footprints come from. No traffic around here, so I think he's pretty safe. He had to have come from the one house there.
I thought it was a little cow.
That was a coyote. Yeah. Flash our lights at this car approaching the dog. Make sure he sees it. There's no ice or salt right now, so I'm going to put the window down. Let's see if this guy needs a pull out. We got straps. Do you need a pull out? All right.
Thanks very much.
Okay, have a good day. Merry Christmas. When you're in the middle of nowhere, it's nice to offer people a hand because there's not many vehicles passing. If I was stuck, I'd want someone to offer to pull me out. That's why we carry straps so we can pull people out, and maybe someone could help pull us out since we got straps. One time, a lot of people offered to pull me out, but no one had straps. We also have the winch that we can pull people out with. It looks like he got buried or stuck, but he's been digging. It'd be pretty easy for us to pull a snowmobile out. But I've pulled people out of the mud before. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help. I've even pulled trucks bigger than mine out, working together. So I was just showing you all these animal tracks. We think it could be bison because there's so many of them. We're hoping to come across that, but we just came across a moose laying down. There's a moose. So we just had to turn around. There he is. Ooh, look at the big antlers. It could be moose tracks. Wow. Look at that moose. Get some close-up pictures of him. He's standing up, he's standing up. Look at the moose. Wow. Goodbye, Moo. All right, time to try turning around again. So I can't turn around fully. I love the squeaking sound. That noise is awesome. Yeah, the moose is still up there. Yeah, let's look at him again. Here he is. Those big antlers. Yep, he's eating the buds. They like to eat the bark on, you see those little thickets that are red? Right down the road, right down the road. We got another moose. I guess all these tracks are from the moose going back and forth eating all the buds. Look at him, look at him, look at him go. Wow, we saw 6 moose today. Look at him plowing through the snow. Wow. Wow, look at this awesome bridge right here.
Peace River.
The Peace River. This is a nice bridge. Oh, wow, it's not frozen. It's steaming. It's so cold. I gotta show this while there's no traffic. Let me put the window down again. Wow, that's why it's not frozen. Because it's discharging underneath that dam. So the water's actually pretty warm where it's coming out. That's really cool. I don't think this river will ever freeze because it's coming out of the bottom of that dam. Look at this, the animals aren't even afraid. I just made so much noise with the anti-lock brakes going boom, 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 boom. Having to hit the brakes. Whoa, look at them. Look at that. Look how graceful. It's so graceful. Look at him go, look at him go. There goes the deer. Is that a deer or an elk? If that was an elk, it's a small one. Here, we're going by the Peace River again. Look at it steaming because of the dam. It's beautiful. I do brake checks. It's still not slippery because of the gravel they add. It's getting a little bumpy though because of the uneven ice. Wow, look at all the animal tracks as they're digging up the grass on the sides of the road. And look at these hills covered in elk and moose tracks. Look at that, not any of these hills are everything's disturbed. Nothing's left undisturbed by the animals going and eating buds and digging. Same up here, all these hills. Elk and stuff is eating. There's the Peace River still steaming. Well, we just found who it was. Those deer or elk. Yeah, those are just regular deer. They're just super fluffy. Look at them. They're not really bothered by us. They're actually pretty far up there. They're like goats. Is that another one up there?
Yep.
Oh, wow, there's one laying down. I see its ears, too. Cool. I'm glad we got to figure out who it was. They're so fluffy. Wow, look at all the steam right there. It's pretty cool. We're not the only one taking pictures. There's another guy here getting some good photographs. Okay, look at this area. I think I'm seeing another group. What's that up there? Oh, yep. Look at all those deer. It's so majestic. Got a little bit of traffic here now. We'll move along. Oh my gosh, look at that. We got a bald eagle. It looks so cool. We got ravens. Look at all those ravens. Hello, ravens. Lots of ravens out here. There's more ravens in northern BC than I've ever seen. They're absolutely everywhere, the ravens. We saw a bunch of them eating a frozen dead deer earlier. They must have really, really tough beaks. Check it out, everyone. We got some more local wildlife. Look at him drinking out of his heated bowl. Look at that. Got all those tracks going up to his friends over there. Is that a horse? Or is that another cow? That's another cow. Two of them. Let's take a look back at this guy. It's got a nice drink. Oh, now these are definitely elk. Are they? No, actually I think that's just a regular deer still. They look big. Look at over here too. There's more of them. They just look really big. Yeah, those are just deer. I thought they were gonna be elk because they're a different color too. Hey, what's up, Mr. Mule Deer? Wow, the snow's so crunchy now, and they're not even afraid. Such a beautiful creature. Only like 20 feet from him. Listen to that crunch. Wow, the snow's so deep. I can't believe you're not afraid. He's digging down for some grass. Okay, I'll leave you alone now. Oh my gosh, there's one in the road. It's a baby. It's a baby. Let's see if it'll let me pull up and get a picture. Will it stop like the other ones? Oh, nope, nope. It went off down the hill. This area is beautiful. I don't think we came this way last time. Got all these switchbacks going through these hills and cliffs. Not too many trees. This is nice. And it's not slippery at all. They put so much aggregate down on these roads. Even when I brake check, you don't slide. You can corner decently. Sun's about to go down soon. These are big hills. We're in four-wheel drive. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, these areas, they don't seem to be scraping with those machines, but it's pretty packed. But at least they're putting rocks over the top of it. Really nice. So many deer up here. Top off with fuel next time we see it. We don't ever want to get below half a tank out of these areas. Alright everyone, gasoline is actually really cheap right here. It's $1.19 per liter. So do that math, it would come to about $4.80 a gallon. Then you have to subtract 36% for the exchange range to American money. Yeah, this is cheaper than where I live actually. Let's top it off. Go in their little store, see if we want to get any snacks, and we're gonna continue. Alright everyone, we just got some bottled water, some energy drinks, and some fried chicken for the road. Look at that, there's a free scale sign right there. So the snowplow knocked it down. There's gotta be a car wash or something around here. Everyone's car is so clean. Or maybe it's because they don't use road salt this far north. This is beautiful, the low sun angle. Fried chicken and potato wedges for the road. We're going the full highway speed right now. These roads are in great shape. Right down to the pavement. This is a really, really beautiful area. Looks like we're coming up on a snowplow. Let's see what they're up to. So now we are officially on the Alaska Highway. There's some amazing videos on YouTube showing how this was originally built by the United States to get through the wilderness of Canada. Look at all that steam coming out of this plow. Look at all that steam. types of systems we've seen. We've seen ones where there's literally an auger grinding against the road, spinning. And then there's ones that the blade is just pushing down with force like a grater. It's really cool. What does this next sign up here say? Colder temperatures, be prepared. Temperatures, that's in French. Compact snow, slippery conditions. Watch for crews and equipment. Okay, we have one more big corner. I'm just gonna wait until it's safe. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't get a broken windshield. We've had quite a few rocks hit the windshield when a vehicle drives by us. Because this truck is actually throwing pea-sized gravel down onto the road. Ah, yep. That truck threw, That's not coming from the plow in front of us. That's coming from the traffic going by. Oh, that one actually, yeah, that one left a nick. Hopefully it doesn't start cracking. It's pea-sized gravel. That's why we're getting such great traction. Get away from this because that's going to keep happening every time somebody goes by this plow, because none of that stuff got packed down. Okay, here we go. As long as we don't get a crack. As soon as I get home, I'm going to file a claim with my insurance company because there's a few nicks which could eventually start splitting. Hopefully it doesn't start splitting until we get home. Or I guess we could do it in Alaska. Up, see how bad the nicks are, make sure there's no cracks. In my experience, a little chip is not going to start cracking by itself. I've never had that happen. But there's definitely some nicks that need to be fixed. There's one there that's like half the size of a dime that can't stay there. But yeah, every large truck that drives by in the passing lane or oncoming throws something at us. I'll probably have to fix some nicks in my paint job too in the spring. Wow, this is looking really pretty as the sun goes down. Yeah, I had to get around that plow because he's just putting down gravel for these oncoming cars to throw. Now that we got around them, there's no rocks for the oncoming ones to throw. I'm glad they put that down because you don't have to use chains on these roads. These roads are way, way better than I would have expected because we can go highway speeds. It's nice. But, you know, even in the summer that happens. We got 2 broken windshields the last time coming up here. And now we got another one. Please don't start splitting until I get home. Little cracks are okay, but if it starts spidering and impairing my view, then I can get pulled over for that. Look at this right here. Use caution. Big moose sign. It's covered by insurance. A windshield for this truck is $1,200 because they have to program it. It has sensors all over it, and it has a heater on it. No, actually it doesn't have a heater. They told me last time that to get one that has a heater next time I have it replaced because it has the hookup for it. So I'll do that this time. I just pay a $50 deductible. It saves me a lot. Insurance is not going to be happy having to give me 3 windshields this year. All right, you probably just saw in that time lapse, we looped around. This is why we looped around. Look at that. It's looks like it's gonna run into the woods, but we turned around because the 7th moose of the day, that's a lucky number. We got a lucky number today of moose. This area is so beautiful. That low sun angle on all the snow-covered trees. Wow, this road is so straight. Wow, the sky is so pretty. We got blue, pink, white. It's really nice. The twilight period up north. What's that? Is that a trash can or
It's a trash
okay.
can.
Got any trash?
This stuff.
Okay. Roads are perfect, no ice. Yeah, I can just hit the brakes. What's that sign say?
Alaska Highway.
People are scumbags. Look at this. There's no bears in the winter. Something tore into it though. Someone shouldn't have left their trash here. Look at all this. Is it frozen? No, people are just lazy. They could have stuffed that in there. Yeah. It's not frozen or anything. Are they all full? No. Just dirt bags. Look how beautiful the sky is. Wow. Look at the moon. All right, everyone. We just picked up all that junk so it doesn't end up down in the woods. I just turned into here because this is really beautiful. Let me zoom in on that. Look at that out there. That's so beautiful out there. This entire area smells like natural gas because there are thousands of natural gas wells and pumping stations. The whole area stinks. It's a big natural gas area. The sky looks really nice. I don't think we're far north enough to see the northern lights though. It's pretty much guaranteed in Yukon, but they say not all the time in northern BC. But we'll see tonight. The sky is mostly clear. All right, everyone, we're going down a pretty steep grade, but it's not icy at all. There's a bunch of fires burning on the horizon, including right in front of us too. That's burning off excess gases. These are all oil and natural gas camps where all the workers that maintain and drill live throughout the winter. All the lights you see are camps for them. Okay, you see that up there? That's one of the things they're burning off, excess natural gas. There's dozens of them on the horizon. Oh my gosh, look at that big smiley face in the sky. Oh my gosh, everyone. It's the 8th moose of the day. Look at him running away. It's not a good shot, but you can tell there's a moose there. Listen to that rumble of the crunchy snow. It's now -11 Fahrenheit and dropping. It's already colder than last night. Just turned around to try to get that moose on camera, but he ran away. And it looks as if there's another moose up here. As we were turning around to look at that moose, it looks like there's another one. Do you still see it? Or did it also run away? It was over here somewhere.
Right there.
Oh,
See it?
you see him still?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a moose, is it?
Yeah. We just put our beam on him. Yeah. Now that one's posing for us. Oh, there's two. There's a baby behind it. Look.
Oh.
So now 9 moose today.
No, 10. Because there's 2.
Oh, yeah. Make sure there's not a car back there. Okay. Nice. Let's get a few stills. They'll come out better. All right, everyone. This road is not slippery. This is a 9% grade for the next 3 kilometers. Not bad at all. They're maintaining these roads very, very well. And some sharp corners along the grade. This isn't slippery at all. I just came to a complete stop to try to take a picture of a deer, but it ran away. There's a lot of thick frost on the trees. That's not snow. It's a little of both, I guess. It was very definitive before the sun went down. Very, very steep with some corners. This would be very, very bad if we were here in the spring when this melts and refreezes really horribly. Maximum speed 50, which is 30 miles an hour. This truck's really good at engine braking. I just have to tap the brakes every now and then. Nothing heats up, even with the trailer. Just no sudden movements. That's all. Thankfully, there's no traffic out on these roads. It's nice to be far away from civilization. And we still got another almost 40 hours of driving, if it's in good condition. A lot of driving to get up to the Arctic. Alright, it's over. Alright, everyone. We got a nice moon. I just got out because we got a couple moose here. Look at that. Not a great shot, but I'm gonna take a few pictures with the shutter, long exposure. Hey, look where we are, Bucking Horse River Provincial Campground. We camped here back in the summer, and you can tell that they did plow it. It didn't look too deep. I tried going down there, but apparently, yes, it is deep. My truck's got like a foot of clearance, and look, we were still bottoming out. We probably would have made it if we weren't pulling the trailer, but I backed up because I didn't want to get stuck down there. I don't know why they plowed it at one point, but stopped. But yeah, that's not open. There are other ones that are open though. Some provincial campgrounds are still open. I'm gonna look across the street to see if this general store is open real quick. I remember we walked here in the summertime from the campground. It's a nice area in the summer to visit. No one even uses these campgrounds. Barely anyone visits these areas. They don't fill up. I think this place is closed, but we're gonna see. All right, everyone. Now, compared to last night, we definitely got to use the engine heaters today because it's now down to negative 28 Fahrenheit. We're pulling onto a weight station. I'm curious. We're going to have to convert this because that's kilogram. First axle, 129. Rear axle, 156. Just the trailer axle, 93. All right, we'll convert that on the screen to pounds. Do you have to use the bathroom before we pull back out?
No.
Okay. We're driving through Fort Nelson right now. These trees are very, very pretty. This is pretty cool. We don't see that at home. Bison on highway. Actually, that's pretty far away. That's in Yukon. We're not even going to be in Yukon for another at least 2 days. That's very, very far away, actually. This is the coldest night, I think, so far. Still dropping. It is now 11:15 at night. We're going to drive about 1 more hour. And we haven't seen a plow in a long time. We haven't passed a vehicle in a long time. We're in the middle of nowhere. We haven't come across a town or anything in a long, long time. We're now driving through about 4 inches of snow that's accumulated on the road. It's fluffy. No issue with traction. Snow is continuing to build up, and we're right next to a really big cliff with no guardrails, but the road's not very slippery, and there's avalanche areas and signs saying there could be sheep in the road. Haven't seen a moose in a while. They're a creature that likes dusk, not really the middle of the night. Look at these cliffs. And the road's tipping towards that guardrail. At least there's a guardrail. This is the area that an avalanche could occur on, it says. This is an 8% grade. But it's not slippery at all. I just came to a complete stop on it with no slippage at all. So these roads, as advertised, they're snow covered, but it's not packed snow. They're not slippery at all. They're very well maintained. These severe hills in the middle of nowhere where you can literally drive hours at a time with no cars going by. Snow builds up quickly because the snow plows are far and few in between, but that's all it really needs. See that right there, that sign? No stopping. Wonder if we'll encounter any avalanches.
I hope not.
Well, I don't think the likelihood of
there's gas in 2 kilometers.
We'll see if it's open. If it is, we'll top off. It might be that fancy ski club we got gas at in the summer. Because that's got to come up somewhere eventually. Hey, because the snow's so deep, you know what'd be cool to do?
Jump in it.
How about we sleep in a culvert, but we'll insulate it by blocking the ends of it with snow. That'd be cool. Put the diesel heater in there, that'd be just like an igloo.
It'll melt.
No, it won't. It will not. It won't melt. Alright, the snow has just about stopped. That's kind of beautiful. That little cliff with the trees up on it. I just came to a complete stop on this steep grade. It's not very slippery. This is actually some of the exact roads I was intimidated by coming up here in the winter. Oh yeah. Well, they're not bad at all. Up in Yukon, there's nothing this steep that we know of, except maybe the Dempster Highway, but I don't expect it to be that bad. All right, everyone, we've been driving hours looking for a gas station. We still have over half a tank in one of the tanks, so we're okay. Unfortunately, we came here and it says you gotta pump first, and they're closed, so we just can't get fuel, unfortunately. I guess we're gonna continue now. There's another one, I'm sure. Look at this. Look at the snow built up here today. Look at all that snow that we got to get off the back door right now, because we need something in there. We're gonna try using our diesel heater. You may have seen the diesel heater I found free on the side of the road. Well, if you saw when I first found that on the side of the road, it had a hookup on the end of it. People said was for a septic system, but I was able to get this thing for it, which we're probably gonna have to melt it open so it can plug into here. Yeah, I think chisels should get that open. We'll get that open. There's a guy here who also has a little generator there I hear running. He just came over saying he's been here for a day because there's no cell phone service. We just let him take our semi-truck jumper because he said his battery's dead, so he's gonna try that and bring it back. Now we're hooking all this stuff up. We're idling so we can get back in there a couple times. It's currently negative 22 Fahrenheit, so we got to get this hooked up. At least there's no wind. Well, everyone, success. He got his diesel camper van going after being stranded out here, he said, a day. It's always nice to help. We always ask people if they need help. So this is what he used. We have this big semi jumper that can start probably 50 cars. It's so powerful. Okay, we got that open. I hooked it up perfectly. Long story short, this thing's a piece of crap and it's not working today. I've used this in countless camping videos, but on a day when it's actually cold and we're trying to survive, it won't start. It's a piece of junk. Good morning, everyone. Last night was really, really cold. Let's go see how cold it actually got. The sun is not up yet. Very, very little daylight up here. Sun actually won't be up until around 10 in the morning. It's now 8 in the morning. The heater here kept us nice and warm. This one's not as hot running, but this one was really, really good. We have to put this back in the truck because the motor will actually seize in these type of temperatures. And the truck is plugged in, engine heater. It has the block heater, the pan heater, and the starting battery heater. Now we're gonna move anything that could possibly freeze and break back into the truck, clean up the generator once we get it started, and head on out. I went out to fuel the generator about 2 hours ago and there was deer tracks. They walked by us in the middle of the night. All right, everyone. So last night I was really tired and I wasn't really in the mood to explain, but this thing here, we chiseled off the ice and we got that open, and then we had to use a hose clamp to hook on to this because someone had mentioned the free diesel heater I got on the side of the road had a hookup like this. So when we got this camper a year ago, we put the same sort of hookup on here so we could plug it in with the diesel heater outside. Apparently that diesel heater doesn't want to start in these temperatures outside, so we're not going to use that anymore. We got our generator space heaters, and it's working fine so far. Let's go see how the truck starts. The frost in the truck is extreme, but hopefully the engine starts without too much struggle. 1, 2, 3. Oop. What you're hearing there, that is the power steering pump. That wasn't the engine, but all considering, for being negative 34 Fahrenheit, we started pretty smooth, all considering. And the block heater was not on all night. I didn't want the generator struggling all night to supply space heaters and those heaters. So I came out here and turned them on a couple hours ago when I refueled. But now we're gonna let the truck heat up while we clean everything up. All right, everyone, we've now been idling 8 minutes. The engine has not heated up 1 notch. Let's gotta start moving to get some heat in here. At least in these temperatures, things like the heated steering wheel, I'm glad I have. Gonna start on moving now. First, we're gonna get rid of a little bit of garbage. Must have been scary last night for that guy who said he was out here over a day, unable to start his car. Okay. Listen, everyone, to the creaking snow. Okay, let's get moving. Here's where that guy was last night. Where was he parked?
I think it was snowing last night.
It was snowing, so yeah, someone else must have turned around there. I was about to say, if he was there for a day, how's his tracks coming in and out? Look at all the animal tracks, though. There's so much wildlife up here. Look at all the tracks. Everywhere, everywhere. All right. Oh, okay, the engine temperature is finally climbing. Can't wait to see the sunrise. So on this road here, there's a bunch of miniature little avalanches. So it could be bigger ones, we never know. Right now we're next to a frozen lake. This is the same frozen lake I was filming back in the summer, where the muddy, murky water was entering the crystal clear blue water. That was very fascinating to watch. And this morning, I have a protein shake that I'm drinking, and it's slushy. It tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. It's really, really good. Perfect consistency of frozen. We were actually only stopped. We only stopped for like 6 hours. So these roads are pretty bumpy. They weren't like this in the summer. This is all ice. And on top of that, in these temperatures, the rubber components of your suspension are very hard. It's normal for suspension to be clunky when it's this cold. Shocks also aren't going to be working as efficiently because the oil in them is so thick. So I do expect the roads to be sort of bumpy like this for the rest of the trip. At least there's no ice. We have not encountered anything slippery yet. Alright, everyone, so you saw last night we tried to get gas, it was closed. And then there was another place that said gas in 2 kilometers, which absolutely did not exist. We just drove by another one like 10 minutes back. It was closed. This one right here, look at the beautiful trees. This is that ski resort we remember from last time, with very, very expensive houses. Like you see, those are very big cabins you could rent. And then there's hotel rooms, nice Christmas lights. It's the day after Christmas. And here's the fuel island, which I'm assuming is open all day. We're all closed up for the night. They were very expensive when we went into their little shop last time coming up, so we won't buy anything here but fuel. And is it active? I'm hoping this is active. Let me get out and take a look at this sign. Okay, let's see what we got here. Open. It opens today at 12. This had a card reader last time, so we can't use it. Temporary out of order. Please pay on the other side. Is the other side open for us to use this morning? Nope, they don't even want you to try. So we either wait until noon or we gotta find somewhere else. In the summertime, at least, there was another one about half an hour ahead that was open right next to the Liard Hot Springs, which we're gonna try to go to. It's really cheap. It's a beautiful heated pool we went to in the summer. There was lots of screaming children, so maybe it'll be more relaxing now in the middle of winter without anyone even using these roads. So that thing has a card reader and everything. I don't know why they don't leave it open in the middle of the winter. There's lots of gas stations that are unmanned that are open in the winter. It's becoming a pain in the butt. Like, we got double tanks. If we didn't have double tanks, we would not be making this trip with a regular car with these closed stations. This truck holds 55 gallons of fuel, and it's got about a quarter of that left. So if this next one doesn't exist, we have enough fuel to backtrack here, and we'll have to do that in 3 hours. It'll be noon in 3 hours. The sun doesn't come up here until 10, which is another hour and 15 minutes or so. Wow, look at this. This is beautiful, this twilight period we got going on. I just got out with the big flashlight because we just passed a sign that said, warning, be aware of bison. And I noticed these shadows. Are these bison or deer? Oh, I think there might be some on the other side. You don't approach these animals. Don't approach bison. Is that bison laying down? I thought it was. I don't think it is now. Is that bison? Is that them just hunkered down in the snow? Is that bison? I don't think it is. I think it might be rocks. But I just saw the shadows, and I was like, maybe I can go out and take a few pictures. I thought that was bison. I thought it was. I don't think it is. Are they moving? Yeah, they wouldn't have that amount of snow on them. Pretty out here though. I don't think that's bison. Let's keep on going. We got a moose. That's actually the second one this morning. The other one we didn't get on camera, it ran away. Look at this right here. Look at that. He's got a lot of snow on him. I don't know. Some of those things in the distance earlier may have been bison. I'm gonna hop out for a moment and take a picture. Crunchy, crunchy snow. We're now at about negative 38. Look at that guy. I'm not gonna get close. We're zoomed in now quite far. If he started walking this way, I could get back in the truck real quick. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's hope this is open. It says fuel in 2 kilometers. Here's the Liard River. It's cool to see a lot of these bridges up here. Completely frozen over the river. Alright everyone, the hot spring is across the road. Now, right here is where we can get fuel. I guess we'll try to come over here in a couple of hours. It doesn't say anywhere when they open, but there's fuel right here, but you also cannot use it unless the place is open. So I guess we'll go over to the park first, which opened at 9, which was an hour ago. The sun is just coming up now. It's at 10 o'clock. Oh my gosh! Camera. No, that's not the guy. Which one? This is what the roads are like up north in the winter. The ice is not even. But we also don't need tire chains, even pulling our trailer. They put pea-sized gravel. That's great traction. You can't even. We have had no issues at all, even on the severely steep grades. The worst grade we saw was 16%, and we didn't slip at all. But it is very, very bumpy. Hopefully, we make it without breaking something, because it's easier to break suspension parts when it's cold. Things are more brittle. I hope especially the trailer's bearings make it, because it's going to get even colder up north. This is the warmest we're going to experience for the next couple weeks. today's the coldest day I've ever experienced in my life, and it's only going to get colder and colder from here. Alright, we had to backtrack because the one across the street from the Liard Hot Springs never opened today. It says opened, it says RV hookups open. There's nobody in the buildings, and there's no service to call it. Okay, they took the cover off the pumps, so we should be free to use it. And then we're gonna go in there later. Good, we finally got fuel because we got critically low. We have a quarter tank, which is actually an eighth of a tank because our auxiliary fuel tank is completely empty and our gas cans are low. So we're gonna fill up. It's pretty. First off, I hate gas pumps like this. I just had to do 4 transactions because it'll only let me pump $100 Canadian at a time. It just took $43, $44. So it's very cold touching metal parts in this weather. So I hang that up and I had to do 4 transactions. So I just took $344 worth of gas in Canada money. That's about, it's almost 300 American. And if you do the math, this is exactly $2 a liter. You do the money exchange, that would be about $6, maybe a little bit more per gallon. It's even more expensive than California. But we're full, peace of mind. This is the middle of nowhere, so they can pay whatever, or they can charge whatever they want. This was also the most expensive one in the summer too. But we're gonna go in there, look in their gift shop. I don't think we're gonna buy anything though, it's very expensive. But out of curiosity, I'm gonna ask them how much their cheapest room is. They have a bunch of larger house-like cabins. They got smaller cabins in the back, all the way down here, tenting sites, RV sites. You know what, we'll ask them if they have a power hookup. We might just as well stay here tonight because the sun's about to set. We kind of want to see the absolutely beautiful mountains. Sun's gonna set in like an hour, but it takes forever for it to actually get dark around here. It'll be twilight for like hours. In this extreme cold, latches and things start not working, so the camper door was actually just wide open, and there's a little bit of snow, or a lot of snow. How much snow is in the camper?
Just a little bit, just a sprinkle.
Yeah, the latches didn't work, so it appears the door was swinging open on the camper, and we didn't even notice it. But we went in there out of curiosity, asking how much it is. They said if we want to hook up to just power with our little camper, which we might do on the way back because it's so extremely cold. Not today, we want to keep moving, actually. They said $60 to hook up to electric, and in American money, that would be about 40 bucks. Not terrible. And they said their cheapest room is $240 a night, which also for this area, it being so remote, and this place is probably super expensive to operate, I don't think that's also that bad. $240 in American money, I think that would be about $180. And that's really not that bad. Usually when I get a hotel, I go for rooms that are like $40, $50 a night. But out here, you're not gonna find something like that. Operating costs are huge when it's this cold. Can't imagine how much it costs to heat these buildings. Look how beautiful it is out here. I'm gonna try to get some nice still pictures. Alright everyone, in these twilight areas like this, the next couple hours we're just going to have dim light now that the sun has set. We're going to do a moose watching vlog. Last night we saw 14 moose, so I think we got a good chance of seeing a lot more moose on the edges of the road tonight. But I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a great night.